Hello everyone, I'm Tyler Rosado, and this is the DIVA Checkpoint. This is your go-to stop for bold insights, big vision, and real action from leaders across Circle K International. Each episode, my guests and I unpack what's happening, what's next, and how we're showing up to lead, with plenty of fun and maybe a little drama along the way. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the DIVA Checkpoint podcast season 2. I'm so excited to have you back for another amazing episode, and this week is double exciting because we have two guests on our show. This is actually a CKI couple, which I've been dying to have on the show because it is such an interesting dynamic to explore couples in our organization. And so I have a wonderful couple with me today who also serves on my district board. This is Sydney Spellman and Johnathan Hicks. Sydney Spellman serves as the district bulletin editor for the Carolinas District of Circle K International for the 24-25 and 25-26 terms. A senior at East Carolina University studying film and video production, she plans to pursue a career as a casting director or film director. Sydney is especially passionate about hands-on service projects, including creating dog toys for local animal shelters, and values opportunities that allow her to make a tangible impact in her community. Prior to serving at the district level, she spent 2 years as social media chair for ECU Circle K, where she strengthened the club's online presence and member engagement. Johnathan Hicks is the current lieutenant governor for the Carolinas District of Circle K International. His former home club is North Carolina Central University CKI, where he founded the chapter and previously served as club president. He is currently affiliated with UNC Circle K, where he continues his commitment to service and leadership. Johnathan's favorite service project was the Mentee Mentorship Program at New Hope Elementary School, an initiative focused on academic support, positive role modeling, and long-term mentorship for elementary school students. He is currently a master's student at the University of North Carolina studying cell biology and physiology, and he plans to pursue a career in optometry with the long-term goal of owning his own practice and expanding access to quality eye care in underserved communities. Now, this dynamic duo is definitely a powerhouse in our district, and you will soon see why in this episode. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Hello, Sydney and Johnathan. Welcome to the DIVA Checkpoint podcast. How are y'all doing today?
Good, you?
Doing well, doing well.
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to have the two of you on. This is our first episode where we've actually had multiple people on. And of course, this is a very special honor because you are also one of our iconic CKI couples in the district. But we'll be getting into all of that. I first want to back up to the start when we all first met, or when I first met the two of you. But tell me from your perspective what you recall about that.
I think the first time me and you met, Tyler, was it not LeadCon, right?
Mhm.
And I just remember you being so funny. Like I remember being like this guy, like we need to be friends because we were cracking up, and it felt like I knew you even though we just met that one, event. But I remember that very vividly. You, Kate, like just the whole NC State crew was just so much fun, and I think that's like why we're so close.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you at Fall Call, the very first Fall Call. Was that 2024?
I think so.
That's 2024, right?
Mhm.
2024, we were on the same team, right? I'm pretty sure. Team Green. And
Hmm.
I had a good time, great time. Me, you, and Angel, we just laughing up the whole entire Fall Call. And that's when I knew, like, it's going to be my dog. Like, we gone for a minute.
Yeah, like both of the times that I met you all, and it's funny because, since I met each of you technically at separate times, and even though both of you were at Fall Call, I still, like you mentioned, Jonathan was on your team and we kind of met separately in its own way. Um, it's almost like I could tell that y'all are a great match, even if I didn't know y'all were a thing or if I had met y'all separately, because you both have very similar energy where it's like instant vibe. Like I can just tell like we're gonna have a fun time. And that's definitely what stood out to me as well when I met both of you. And that's why I'm so excited to have y'all on the podcast because I think that is some of the energy that we need to have throughout our organization, so that people can instantly find their people, click, and get to serving their communities with other like-minded individuals. Going back even before I came into the picture and met the two of you all, tell me a little bit about how y'all met and got together.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So how we got together. So I first saw Sydney my sophomore year, her freshman year of college, because her sister Kaden also, we attended the same school and we were all in this like same group of friends. So she came for homecoming, like she does every year with her family. But I was hanging out with Kaden and a friend of mine named Joey. And I seen her and I asked her, like she was asking to go to the bathroom and all the bathrooms were full. And I said she could use my bathroom. And that was kind of our like first interaction. And I knew like I was looking at her, I was like, I liked her and I liked stuff like that. But then I'm gonna fast forward going into the summer before my junior year and her sophomore year. We were all hang out. Me, Kaden, Joey, we go to like run clubs together. We would just hang out. We would go all as a friend group. We would go to Truist Field, which is in Charlotte, just a big park. And then eventually I just started like, I really started to like her. So I just started texting her and I just wouldn't stop texting her and I would just text and I would text and I would text. And then yeah, and then it kind of just grew from there.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit. As far as I'm aware, City, had you joined CKI by the time you met Jonathan, or did that come after?
Uh, Actually, the same time I joined Circle K my sophomore year. So we started dating and I joined the club that same semester. So we started dating September 9th and I was already going to club events around that time. So it was like, you know, it lined up around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine that you had a part in introducing the idea to Jonathan at a school where CKI did not previously exist. So first, Sydney, tell me a little bit about what you kind of told Jonathan, and then Jonathan, if you could tell us what kind of got you on board with this whole idea of CKI.
Well, first, when Maddie was governor, we just discussed like wanting to have more HBCUs in the district. And I was like, okay, well, I have clear connection to Central. My sister goes there and my boyfriend goes there. It would be amazing to charter a club. And I knew they were both capable. So I asked Jonathan first. And my sister gets on me to this day, not asking her first to become president. But I was just, we were starting to date. So, of course I'm coming to him like chattering. And I just told him I thought he would be perfect. And I think Central would be a great addition. And I just told him like it'll be important for our district. We need to start, representing us as a people as a whole. And I think that having the HBCU in Central is very important and just making sure, we're all being seen. And yeah, I asked him and he was like, yep, let's do it.
And after she asked me, I was really excited. So at Central, we need 120 hours of community service to graduate, and our whole encompass of our school is about truth and service and just giving back to our community. So when she brought the idea of CKI, because I would hear about it, I'd be like, "Oh, where are you going?" You're like, "Oh, I have an event with Circle K. I'm going this with Circle K." I'm like, "Dang, you do a lot of events, a lot of community service." So when she told me about that, I was like, okay, cool. I was scared. I was very scared at first because I've never been I've been in roles, but I've never been the president of a club. I've never had that much of a responsibility, which was very like nerve wracking for me. But she gave me the confidence. She said I could do it, and then yeah, that kind of just how the club got started, and it's blossomed from there. Me and Kaden, we tried our best, and we do what we can do, but I'm just happy to see how far the club has gone. So that's how kind of we got introduced to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I think, the whole idea of building a club from the ground up is always needed in our organization, but always also just a great opportunity to welcome more people into our organization. And can truly say that I'm always blown away and impressed by the service projects and the events coming out of the Central chapter. And one of the things that we, as say governors or other leaders in the organization, look to with new charters and their success is the ability to transition the club to a new president after the chartering president, right? And of course, sometimes we have people charter clubs their freshman year and they can be president all 4 years, and then it's like kind of that nail biting moment of who's going to take over, will it still function? But you were just on the verge of graduating when you chartered your club, so that turnaround was very quick. Tell me a little bit about how you made plans to help sustain your club beyond your graduation.
So yeah, so when I first start brought up the club idea to because we needed an advisor to my advisor, Miss Eaton, who's the current advisor for the Circle K Club at North Carolina Central University. She actually made sure and instilled in me that since she knew I was graduating, that I had a plan, to like find somebody and get somebody to take my place within the president. And so I was on the university's Student Honors Council at North Carolina Central University, and that's how I met Will. And Will was always he from the jump. He was interested in Circle K. He's always been great with coming up with ideas. He was a part of a bunch of clubs his freshman year, and just being there with him throughout that year on the Honors Student Council, I just knew he would be just kind of like the perfect fit and just like the perfect image of to hope to be the next president for CKI. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just a quick follow-up to anyone who's listening who maybe has just chartered their club, or even if they're a president of a pretty established club, but just trying to make plans, as when this podcast comes out, we'll be right on the beginnings of kind of club election season and things like that. What would be your advice to those folks about something that they might be missing in their transition plan?
I would say definitely have a plan on how you're going to fund your club outside. If you're coming from a kind of like a smaller school, not as much funding within the student body within the within SGA, I would definitely say have a plan on how you're going to budget your money and how you're going to um, budget dues as well. Because there's the money to cost for the standard membership, but plus the club dues. Just budgeting all that out and just having just kind of a set list of goals of what you want to accomplish throughout the year. Just having service ideas in mind and just kind of planning that out. And yeah, that's what I would say. That was the biggest thing for us, just the funding and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so shifting gears a little bit, I know we've just kind of dived into, I would say, Jonathan, your greatest accomplishment, getting that club started and a club that continues to thrive and flourish. And Sydney, I've had the pleasure of working with you this past year on our district board as our bulletin editor, and this is a role that you've returned to much applause because you've really come into the role and done so much for our district. Tell us, first start out with a little bit of what led you to run for the position in the first place.
So it's actually a great funny story. It was Decon 2023, right? Yeah. And Maddie came up to me. It was like the last day of like voting and elections like that. It was that Sunday, like that morning. And I didn't run the whole weekend. Like I was just watching, like, okay, nobody was like running for bulletin editor. And Maddie was like trying to find like the person to do it. And she just came up to me and was like, I think you should run. And I was like, girl, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't want to go up and do a speech and do all this extra stuff. Like I was really nervous. Like I've never done that before. So I was telling her, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing it. But she was very persistent. Like, she was getting other people to come talk to me about it. Like, I was like, you know what? Like, I really liked her. So I was like, you know what, Maddie, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna just say yes. Like, this is my year to just say yes and just put myself out there. So I ended up running. And 2 years later, here I am. And it's like one of the best things I've ever done. But yeah, it was just definitely one of the highlights of my college career doing that is just like just going for it. And then now look where I am, like I've gained so much from being on the board. And it was all, thanks to Maddie.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's probably a lot of folks listening to, right? These will come out right before district convention, and as you mentioned, you ran on the floor. So, what would you say to a person who is maybe thinking about it and they really might not even make a decision until they're there in Charlotte this year at our district convention? What would you say to them about potentially running for a position?
Like I said before, it really has changed my college experience. And I feel like if you're interested in running or you don't know, if even if you have the little thought in your head that you can do it, do it. You can do it. Don't doubt yourself. Like if you have any passion in film, media, marketing, graphics, anything like that, you can totally do it. It's just making it work for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like again, I'm a film major, so I like making videos for the district. If you like graphic design, you could just, you can play on that. It doesn't have to be so specific to one thing. This role has opened me up to so many different things, and I know fear gets in the way of people a lot about doing leadership roles, but I think that just go for it, and if you have a inkling that you can do it, you can do it. And you're gonna have your governor, you're gonna have all these people supporting you, Miss Jen. It's definitely a family. So I think, just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I can say you have done a lot for our district in terms of social media presence. And I think one of the greatest strengths that you have is to really get us in on some of these TikTok trends and things that, sometimes I'm aware of them, sometimes I'm just shaking my head and going along with it. Tell me a little bit about how you're able to kind of organize these things together in your role and really get buy-in from other people, because I think that's the hardest part of being in a social media slash like marketing oriented role, is that you have a vision to create, but it requires other people to kind of buy in to participate in a TikTok challenge or something like that.
Yeah. It is hard trying to find things that would relate or people would find funny or, connect with. And I think the main thing is like getting inspiration from other people, not necessarily just like clubs from other districts, but like you can find inspiration from Coca-Cola or like big brands, and just, going off of that, going off of like what dynamic that you have already. So we have a diverse amount of people, age groups or whatever, but think into that and like going off of that, if you have ages 18 to 21, you need to find something that what's going on, what's trendy that these group of people would like, but also it can relate to the alumni that watch and the parents that watch. It's like age appropriate and not like too out there inappropriate, but it's still funny. So I find that like just going on TikTok and looking up like promotion for this, and you find so many things and you just pick based off of who you're trying to bring in or bring to this event, or who do you think will find this funny. So it's just about finding that balance, and finding what people think is trendy. Like trendy is the main thing, just go for what's trendy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And um, I will leave it here with, what is kind of the one product or thing, video that you've put together that you're most proud of during your time as bulletin editor?
See, I would say the interview compilation I did, only because, like, I mean, I put a lot of editing hours into that just to make sure it looks professional. And, like, again, it appeals to everyone. And it was so much fun, like, doing, like, I remember you did yours, and it was like we had the boom pole, we had the camera. Like, it was nice to bring what I've learned in school to CKI and, like, have a nice video for us. And I want to do it again for decon. It was just super great. And I loved how it turned out. Yeah, I think that was probably my top one. And then the second one, let me think. Honestly, that TikTok we did with the boom shakalaka. I don't know why. It's so simple, but I think that's like one of the most viewed videos we have. And like I said, the trend works. Go what's trendy. And that video, it kind of popped off. So that's probably number two.
Right. I definitely think that one of the reasons that I knew that video was going to be so successful is because I really, like, I had been familiar with the sound on TikTok, but I never in a million years had thought, yeah, this would be great for CKI. But you pulled it in and pulled it off, and I think that was really a testament to your skills in the role. And you kind of briefly mentioned about pulling in knowledge from other places, both college students, and now you both can say you're serving on the district board. So tell me a little bit about how it has kind of had that intersection for you between your studies, what you're pursuing in your future career, and how being on the district board has supported you in that.
So I would say like the first off, the district board is very, very supportive of everything, of all the stuff we're doing, like when it comes to our education. Um, Juggling graduate school and just doing stuff for and making sure I'm putting forth my effort within Circle K as a lieutenant governor has been a little bit of a struggle for me, but I've just been supported by you, Miss Jen, Chris, Sydney. Everybody on the board has been extremely supportive. Um, I would say it's definitely manageable. Um, Being able to do what I do for as lieutenant governor and do my studies as well. It's just mainly just prioritizing and just making sure that you're being organized and just knowing that you have a responsibility and know that the work that you're putting in, even though you might be tired, it's benefiting a lot more people than just benefiting yourself and being in that role. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And for me, I feel like Circle K has definitely helped me in my field, just like, speaking and have, public speaking was very hard for me in the beginning. And like when you step into the real world, you're going to have to speak about your films, you're going to have to do a presentation, it's going to be the big guy sitting in front and it's the whole thing. I feel like being on the district board has helped me be more prepared for that. Like even when I do like English, presentations or something, I'm like, how many presentations I had to do for Circle K? Like this is nothing. Like people are always like, why are you not nervous? I'm like, listen, I've been prepped. Like I've done this before. I'm so grateful for that because without that, I would be so scared and so like, so Circle K has given me more of a confidence to speak and talk about my ideas because that's going to be definitely needed, and just working with media because with film you don't really do graphics and promoting, but now I know, hey, when I get older and I have a film, I know how to promote it, I know what I want, I know you got to use certain fonts, when the so it's definitely helped me kind of hone in my skills, and now I know, oh wait, I can do this graphic design, I can do this, and I can, to make my film or whatever I'm promoting better, and that's because of being on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And we in the Carolinas district have an interesting convention coming up where it looks like all of our current board members are graduating or seeking other endeavors, a lot of studying abroad going on. And so it looks like our entire district board will be entirely new next semester or next year, next service year. And so I would love for you all to kind of give your best advice to whoever will hold your role next, not only to succeed in that role, but also when they start to foster their new bond, since it will look somewhat different than the board that we have today.
Advice I would give, one thing is to stay organized, like just planning things out in advance. Even when I was social media for ECU, we had a calendar and I would just take a week and do it before that week came up. So I would take that following week, do all the graphics and pre-post them like on Instagram. You can like set it up to where you don't have to actually post it. It can already kind of do it for you. That is very helpful. Another thing would be have fun with it and connect it. Like we've been talking about, connect it to what you're doing. With one of my bulletins, I did like a summer movie theme. Like I connected it to what I liked. So you can do that and it'll make you not only have more fun, but you put more effort into something that you already know how to do or you know how to talk about. So I think just connecting it with what you're interested in will help. Also, like you said, getting to know your board and being friends with the people you're working with is so much better than not knowing them at all. And just like, like we can talk, I could talk with Angel and everybody on the board and it just be like normal and fun. And I can come to her or you or anybody else on the board and just talk about my feelings or what I have. And it's not, so much pressure or it feels so like professional and like, it's like a family. So I would say use that to your best ability. Don't be scared to get to know your board members, like get to know them, have fun. Like we have so much fun at district events. Like we're like, oh my God, we haven't seen each other forever. And it's just like a family reunion. So I would say getting to know them and also using Miss Jen. Like Miss Jen is there for you. Um, any questions you have, she'll answer. Like that's Llama Mama. Like she's gonna come through. So I think that's what I would give.
I would say just reiterating based off Sydney, yeah, just be yourself, have fun. No, it's okay. Sometimes you get busy, but always, she always tells me when I feel like I'm getting like overwhelmed with just everything with school and stuff, she just be like, take an hour a day, like, or 45 minutes, whatever. Just do something related to CKI. Just, and that's all you need, and 30 minutes to an hour. I'm like, okay. So we'll just do that. And then, yeah, just getting to know your boards, go out to the events, try to make the events, just be yourself, try to put yourself out there because CKI is just a loving community where nobody is non-judgmental. Just be yourself, and yeah, and you'd be perfectly fine.
Amazing, amazing. And we touch on our district-wide events, and of course we have our fall fall call conference, and we have our district convention, and also our like service projects throughout the district throughout the year. Tell me a little bit about how you're able to just approach those events kind of so eager to engage with others, because I think regardless of where people are from, different clubs, different points in their college career, you both seem to have this ability to just connect with others and bring them into the fold. So tell me a little bit about, is it intentional on your part? Is it something that just happens? What? Tell me everything.
Well, for me at first, when I did my first fall call, I just was talking to everybody. Like I just love meeting new people. And then once I got on board, I was like, I'm gonna make it my mission to introduce or talk to at least five new people and just to create a bond there so people don't feel alone. Because you can see somebody standing to the side and they're a little alone, or their energy is down. Like just bringing up people's spirits. I always go into district events like saying I'm gonna be the hype person, I'm gonna be the leader, getting people excited. Like me and Angel, our competition always gets people excited. So just continuing that, because it can make somebody's whole, experience different if you just come up to them and talk. Like that's another way about being a leader. It's not always, oh, I don't know how to explain it. It's not always just about CKI and, giving them information. It's also about being there for them as a person and just talking and getting to know people. That's a very important thing to do, period. But just on the district board as well. Like we are leaders, so like putting ourselves out there and getting to know the people around us, and hey, come sit with us, or do you want to eat lunch here, or this is Johnathan, this is Angel. Just connecting, have that. So every time we we meet up for LeadCon, this, you have that, hey girl, I remember you from last year, how you doing, I remember you told me this, like da, da, da. I remember, like for example, Kate, I remember fall call, our first fall call, we would talk. And then as the years go on, I'm like, Kate, this is my girl. Like I just get to know her more and more. Like every single event, we're talking. I'm always asking her, girl, how was your major? What's going on? Like, just building those bonds slowly could definitely make a difference.
Yeah, I would just say like just always just going in because I feel like I've been in that situation where I just been in a room and I just like nobody wants to talk, like nobody wants to break the ice. It's always nerve wracking just to like, but genuinely just I go in with the mindset just talk to people, have a conversation with somebody, ask them about their day because that just makes everybody else just so much more comfortable. And now that one person's talking, everybody else is talking. Everybody else is starting to get to know each other and build camaraderie. And now that when we go to these events or when I don't see people for a year that I haven't seen since fall call, it's like I just saw them the other day. So just making sure like just having that mindset of like just getting to know people. And yeah, I would just say that.
Yeah, I mean, and I love what you both touch on that on the one hand, it's definitely intentional and you have to seek out others and include them and get them in with the crowd and get them excited to be there. And at the same time, too, it is an internal mindset as well of being intentional with how you speak with others and trying to get them in on all the fun and all the action too. So that's really great. And I think people have a lot that they can take away from that. Of course, we have plenty of listeners who are excited about CKI as dedicated members, or even some folks who are just learning about our organization and kind of exploring it by listening to this podcast. But across the board, we have folks that are in college, navigating all of the wonderful and sometimes tumultuous things that come with being a college student. And of course, one of those things is relationships and how to navigate those things. And especially for you two going to school in different places, I would love for you to talk a little bit about how you have facilitated your relationship, what works, and just navigating that a little bit. Because I know anytime, at any point in your life, relationships can be stressful, relationships can have challenges, but you all have found success during a highly stressful time in your life. And I think people could definitely take away some things from that.
Mhm. Well, for me, I think the main thing is making sure you're each other's peace. Like you said, we already have a lot going on with school. We're like 2 hours away. I don't want to call Jonathan and it's not, you know what I'm saying? We're arguing or things are going bad. Making sure that your partner or you know, in yourself are their peace. He could come to me and talk about, you know, what's going on in his life. Literally today, my teacher did me so dirty, y'all, and I was crying. And the first person I called was Jonathan. I'm like, Jonathan, help. Like, he came from the gym, he came here and calmed me down. Like, that's what your person's supposed to be. Like, I haven't even thought about what happened because, you know, he just made the whole situation, it's gone because he came and he calmed me down. He's the only person to be able to do that. So making sure that you're there for your partner, even if you're 2 hours away, doesn't necessarily mean physically, but just knowing, hey, I can call him, he can call me, and we're good.
Yeah, and just picking up off that, I just feel like being communication with each other, like having an understanding, like of like what's going on, knowing that we're 2 hours away from each other, and knowing sometimes like we can't see each other for a week or 2 weeks at a time, and just making sure we're checking in on each other, talking to each other, and knowing what's going on in our lives, and just being able, and also trying to put forth the effort of going to go see her, or even if you don't even have like the transportation to go see someone, just I would just say, yeah, just being their piece. Yeah.
I can also say, I think, yeah, like college is such a tricky thing to navigate,
Yeah.
especially like when we first started dating, a lot of people were trying to throw me off course, like, you're so young, you want to be in a serious relationship sophomore year at college. I was just like, yes, we are in college, but at the same time, if everything is good between me and him and I'm not stressed and he's not, you know, bringing me negative energy, I'm gonna stick with my man. Like, I don't understand why, you know what I'm saying? Just because we're in college doesn't mean we can't find love and be serious about people. I think like as a whole, our generation lacked a little bit of emotional maturity. And I think that just trying to grow with somebody is important too. Like, me and Jonathan are not the same people we were when we dated, but we growing with each other. We're not outgrowing each other. He's not here, I'm not here. We're making sure we grow with each other and that we stay in here, you know? Because if you're not growing with that person, you shouldn't be with them.
Yeah, definitely.
I just got my thought. I
Oh,
that brought my thought back. Yes, growing with each other and understanding the long-term goal or the end goal of us, like knowing like this is a short period in our lives. This is like 2% of our 100% of our lives together. So just knowing that, and knowing that yes, long distance can be hard, but knowing the end goal for us is what keeps us going.
Mhm.
That's what I would want to say.
yeah, yeah. I think that's amazing. And, this might be a shot in the dark here, so you can tell me there's nothing here, but I can definitely say, as governor who has both of you on my board, I definitely think that you all and your partnership is a testament to look at and also brings benefits to our district and our organization. Is there anything that you can say that being in this organization together has brought to your relationship that might not have been there without CKI?
I think holding each other accountable. Like before, like, you know, you could be like, oh, Jonathan, you slacking in this, but we weren't in it together, you know? But now I'm like, okay, like I said, put that hour in a day to do CKI work. And he's like, Sydney, you got to make a post. We're holding each other accountable in a way we've never done before. And I think it just makes us strong because we don't feel any type of way about it. It's not like, why are you coming at me? It's like, okay, I really appreciate that. Like, you know, we can be on it. Like sometimes we'll sit together on our computers doing CKI work. Like we're just, let's lock in, like we're getting it done together. So it's kind of like a bonding little moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I would definitely like just she said it perfectly, holding each other accountable and having being in something that we're both in together, and just making sure we're pushing each other to be the best bulletin editor she can be, making sure I'm the best lieutenant governor I can be. I would say yeah, that's the biggest thing. Just accountability and just being able to push each other, one another, to just continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping at this point that all of our listeners who have joined our organization, but maybe have a partner who hasn't, have at this point in the podcast, grab their partner and have them listening. So give me kind of plead your case, like kind of your 60-second speech, to couples listening about why they should join their partner and come into our organization with them?
Like we touched on before, it's nice to have something that you're both so in tune with and that you love so much. Because again, it makes our relationship stronger because we both love this organization so much that we'll just sit and talk about it. Or like after an event, we're just like yapping to each other about, oh my God, how great this was. Or like when he was in school, like he would tell me about the service he was doing, and I would tell him about the service, I was doing. It's just nice to have that common thing. Like of course we have common things and interests, but when it comes to like helping other people and doing a service, it's like different type of connection. So I feel like if you have that, like how I did Johnathan, bring them in, because at the end of the day it's not gonna make y'all grow apart. It's gonna bring you closer together, and it's just a nice thing for us to have, especially as college students. Like it's just a responsibility that we get to do together, so it makes it even more fun.
I would say, yeah, I agree. Like, I would say if you're in your relationship and you're passionate people, you're passionate about service, and you're just looking for more ways to connect with each other, Circle K is the perfect organization to join. You guys will grow and grow and grow. And you're, like Sydney was saying, you're not going to pull each other apart with this. You're going to just continue to come together and grow together as a couple. So this is the perfect organization to be a part of.
Amazing, amazing stuff. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I always ask all of my guests what is the biggest diva moment that they have seen during their time in our organization. Something big and bold that has really stood out to them, a memory, an achievement. So both of you, I'd love to hear. We get two diva moments for this one episode. What are your diva moments that you're bringing to the table?
Well, this one's more on a funny side, but I would say it's my biggest diva moment because it tells how confident and how competitive I am. We were doing the shark race in fall call last year, and I was like, guys, I'm the fastest. Like Pre was saying that he was faster than me. I was like, no, I'm going to prove myself on this track. Unfortunately, it was gravel. So as soon as I started running, your girl went tumbling down. Like I don't even remember falling. I just remember seeing the gravel, and I fell. Everybody was like, "Ooh!" And I was like, "Oh my God!" I didn't even want to get up. Like I just laid there. My hand was all bloody. I was crying because if you know me, I have a fear of blood. I don't do well with blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Cameron's mom was like putting band-aids on me and like calming me down. And then Jonathan came in. He was like, "What is going on?" I was like, "Listen, I was doing too much." But I think it just, it stands for my character and who I am as a person. Like it was just a funny moment. I literally did my presentation right after I fell. So I was just like, you know what? We fall down, but we get up and we got to do what we need to do. So I love that. That was a very funny time.
I would say for my biggest diva moment, it was again fall call. The first fall call I went to, fall call where she fell, was honestly, me and Sydney, we are both very competitive people, like
Mhm.
very competitive. Like she's overly competitive. Like so when we took the dub at fall call, Team Green, and she was talking the most the entire time we were there, it was just a like a bittersweet, because honestly, I thought we were going to lose and she was going to rub it in our face. But it was such a great moment. I would say the win at Fall Call was kind of the biggest fun diva moment for me. If I can give a serious diva moment, can I say that too?
Sure.
Okay, sorry guys. You got okay. One more diva moment. All right, so the more serious diva moment was just getting the club chartered successfully at North Carolina Central with Caden, just me and Caden and Sydney and everybody that else has helped Miss Jen just to get our charter process, like being able to see, like I said earlier in the podcast, like how much the club has grown and how the club is still there at Central is just, I'm just amazed and truly I just amazed. And shout out Will and shout out the whole NCCUE board. They're doing a fantastic job. So yes, I would say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, definitely just to touch on the serious diva moment first. I'm blown away always from the Central Club, as I've mentioned, and um, I'm always looking forward to their growth. And they've accomplished so much in just a couple years. Imagine where they'll be 5, 10 years from now. So I think they're a really exciting bright spot in our district. But going back to that fall call, I definitely do recall the great fall from Sydney, but we still rallied, and definitely a testament to your ability to just keep going with the flow, Sydney's, that you kept pushing, and it was, I will say, a highlight of my weekend that Team Green did walk away with the win. So hopefully there's no hard feelings about it now. Of course, we've had a whole other fall call since, but definitely some great diva moments. So thank you all for sharing that. And also, of course, as your governor, I can say that you all do amazing work for our district. The district is in great debt to you. I'm a great debt to you. We're so grateful to have you on our board and for your continued support. I hope you both enjoy a wonderful holiday season and do take care.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks for tuning in to the Diva Checkpoint podcast with me, Tyler Rosado. For more episodes, be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, if you've got something to say, we want you to be a guest on our show. Head over to bit.ly/CKI podcast for more information. Until next time, keep leading loud, CKI.